Okay, you gotta do. Oh crap! I don't know how to start this video. I hate guides. I don't hate them. I just don't know how to start it. What is up, everybody? My name is Monster, and yeah, I'm not gonna be good at this. This is my first time making a guide. I usually do Let's Plays, and I usually just make like little league montages on my channel, but I don't know. I made a video a few weeks ago, or no, more like a month ago, called How to Play Kayle Support in Season 5, and I got a lot of views, but I got a lot of hate due to the fact that it's just a little montage of me playing Kayle Support. So yeah, the title was misleading, so I got a lot of hate for that. But like I thought it'd be kind of cool if I actually did a Kayle Support guide. So I'm gonna do that today. So this is my first time doing this. I don't have a script either. I'm gonna do this like right off, like just right now. So if I suck, I apologize, but I hope you enjoy and I hope you learn how to play Kayle. So let's get started. Alright, so to make it easy for you guys, I am going to split this video up into sections for you. So I'm going to like teach this as if you don't know how to play Kayle or if you're still kind of new to Kayle. So I'm going to show the abilities. So if you're here just for like a mastery page or runes, or maybe you want to learn some techniques on like how to lane or how to split or how to, you know, get better heals and all of that, you might as well just click one of the sections, one of these sections that you see on the screen. There will be an annotation whenever you click it, and it will take you to the part of the video for that specific, you know, category. So if you're here just for runes or a mastery, just click runes or masteries, and it will take you right there, and then you can get on with your life and you can play Kayle. But if you're here for the entire video and you want to learn Kayle and watch the entire thing and get the full effect, then stick around. Kayle's passive is Holy Fervor Fever. I don't freaking know. You can mock me in the comments for all, like, I don't care. Whenever Kayle hits an enemy champion, that enemy will lose 3% armor and magic resist. And it can stack up to 5 times, meaning that if you hit him 5 times, or he or she 5 times, you will get 15% armor and magic resist ignored or lost on that champion that you hit. So let's say, for example, there is a Braum bot lane that is your enemy. If you hit him 5 times, 15% of his armor will be ignored, meaning that your ADC will be able to do more damage due to the fact that he has less armor. So it's very helpful bot lane against really tanky supports. And if most of the times the ADCs don't have that much armor, so if you're able to hit the ADC 5 times, your ADC will be able to do more against the enemy due to the fact that their armor is ignored. So it's very, very good for your ADC to do tons of damage. So Kayle's Q is called Reckoning. It is a lock-on projectile that deals 110 damage plus bonus magic damage, and it adds slowing effects to the enemy. I believe it's 40% movement speed decreased for 3 seconds, and it applies a stack for your passive, so that's very helpful. And I would recommend putting a point in this first, but don't max it out first if you're playing support. Just keep that in mind, because most of the time if you play Kayle top or mid or jungle or wherever you go with her, they're going to say, you know, max it out. If you're playing support, I wouldn't recommend maxing it out, and I'll get to that later. Kayle's W is called Divine Blessing. It heals an ally or herself, and it gives her plus 21% movement speed for 3 seconds, as well as a heal. So not only can you heal your ADC or yourself, but you can give yourself movement speed, which enables you to engage in a team fight or to just help a teammate run away or make you run away. And it's glorious to take and max out first. So that's why I said don't max out Q, because it gives beautiful sustain to your ADC or to yourself if you want to help your ADC poke. So I would totally recommend putting a point in this third, not second, but third, and then max it out first. That's what I do. Like, this is just my guide. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can max your Q out first. But I would just recommend maxing out your W out first, because the heal that you get whenever you max out your W first is beautiful. You will literally just heal your entire ADC's health all the way back up. Like, they never have to back. I've played matches where my ADC doesn't back until like level 8, and it's so glorious. Not level, maybe level 12. It's just so good. I recommend maxing out W first. It's beautiful. Kayle's E is Righteous Fury. Righteous Fury, baby. Kayle's E is Righteous Fury. It has a passive and a basic. I don't understand. Kayle's E is Righteous Fury. It has a passive and an active. The passive is Kayle's basic attack will deal an additional magic damage depending on how many points you've put in the E. The active is her attack range increased by a certain amount, and it does splash damage around them. It's basically like a Hydra. That's the best way I could explain it. Whenever you activate it, you have a little Hydra. Yeah, for like a few seconds. It's pretty cool. And there's one thing that I'll get into that's special about her E, and I'll get into that whenever we talk about the build. But yeah, it's really cool. Alright, now it all comes down to this. Kayle's R. This is what makes or breaks a Kayle player. Because most of the time, people will determine how good you are at Kayle by the way you place and use your ult. Because I'll just explain it and then you'll see what I mean. Kayle's ult is called Intervention. It basically makes the target you use, like your ally, invulnerable to all damage, no matter what damage it is, it doesn't matter, for 2 seconds. I believe the more points you put in, the longer it is. So this is what I mean by it determines how good you are at Kayle, because there will be people that are selfish and they want that ult for themselves. Even if like they're 0 and 13, you will see people that they think they can get out if you just use your ult on them, and you will get trash talked because they died and you didn't use your ult. So just be aware that know who to use it on, know when you need to use the ult, and just know the right situation, the right scenario. And there will be people that you made the right choice of not popping your ult on them because you knew they were gonna die either way and you knew they weren't the carry. If they rage at you, that's okay. I mean, it happens. This is what shows how good of a Kayle player you are in other people's eyes, especially in ranked. So just be aware of that. It's a beautiful ult. I love it. And tower dive with it. Tip. It's a one tip. You can tower dive with it. Especially if you're playing support, you can help your AC tower dive. It's beautiful. Alright. So now we get into Kayle summoner spells. I usually take Exhaust and Flash. You can switch it up, but this is what I just take. Exhaust because you can help your ADC break down the enemy ADC by popping an exhaust on them, and they can just start shredding them down, and you can help with your E. And then Flash, of course, for engaging, and if you need to escape, you can flash away. But that's the beauty of a Kayle support. You don't need a heal. So the heal summoner spell isn't taking up a slot, and then you now have more utility. And your summoner spells, you can, I don't know, I've seen some people take teleport bot lane with a support Kayle. I mean, you do whatever you want. All you gotta know is you don't have to take heal as a summoner spell with Kayle, especially if you max out her heal first like I do. So just keep that in mind. Alright, now let's talk about runes. Runes, pretty straightforward. I get marks of attack speed, seals of armor, and glyphs of magic resist, and quintessences of ability power. Mark of attack speed we'll get into whenever I talk about the item build. It's just basically a lot of her move, or a lot of her items will give her a lot of attack speed, so that's why I get that. Seal of armor, you need some defense. Magic resist, defense. And ability power, so you can have some damage once you get into the once you're out of the laning phase and you're trying to help your team win some team fights. So for my masteries, I usually go 21, 0, and 9, 21 offense and 9 in utility, and I do this just so I can have some nice utility for mana regen, buffs last longer. and I can do my exhaust and flash faster, and then of course offense for attack. That's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now we're going on to the item build. Just want to keep this in mind, please. This item build is optional. I made it myself, and you know, it may not be good to you. You may not think it's good, but this is what I use, and I love it, and it works for me. If you find a better build on Mobofire, you can go use that. But this is what I use most of the time. So I usually get Ancient Coin first. For some nice small gold on the side of your ADCs getting CS. You get 3 gold and 5 health from every killing blow that you miss. So every time the ADC gets a CS, you get 3 gold. So it's kind of small cash. Of course, you get a health pot and a totem. And then I'll work into a Talisman of Ascension so I can help my ADC initiate and gain movement speed. And you get more gold later on. Now for my core, it's pretty straightforward. I go full AP, so once the laning phase is over, I can actually do damage and help in a team fight. I build Rabadon's Death Cap, Nashor's Tooth, and then a Void Staff. Nashor's Tooth for the attack speed, because with her E, her attack speed is brutal and shreds, plus it helps you stack your passive. Void Staff for the ability power and ignores more magic resist, which helps with your passive. And Rabadon's just due to the fact that it's in a ton amount of ability power. Boots, your choice. You can do Berserker's Greaves or the Sorcerer's Shoes. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Sorcerer's Shoes if you want to have some magic penetration, or Berserker's Greaves if you've built the Nashor's Tooth, you know, already, and you want even more attack speed with your E. Now, with defense, I like to build a defense item next. Just so I'm not a squishy piece of garbage that has to heal herself and not my team. So I'll usually get, it depends, it's situational. I will get a Riley's Crystal Scepter, a Zonya's Hourglass, or a Banshee's Veil. You can choose, like I said, situational. So in your match, you choose, figure out what's the best, and then buy it. Next, of course, will be a damage item. This is where it gets kind of interesting. So I usually would get the, I'll get Wit's End most of the time, but you can choose between Morlanomicon, God, I just butchered that, Wit's End, Leandri's Torment, and the Hurricane, not the Hydra, the Hurricane. The Hurricane is amazing, and for those of you that don't know, the Hurricane does work on Kayle. Her E actually counts as a range attack, and so you can hit them from a distance, and the Hurricane will actually turn on. And it gives you, so like, if you're building pure attack speed, if you have Nashor's Tooth, Berserker's Greaves, and then a Hurricane, you are hitting really fast, and if your E is on, not only are you doing that little Hydra move that the E does, but you also have these little arrows shooting out at your enemies. So you have a Hydra and arrows being shot at, doing tons of amounts of damage to multiple people. It's beautiful. So beautiful. I love it. I'll usually go Wit's End or Hurricane, because it's just fun seeing your character derp out due to how fast the animation is. So that's what I use. Like I said, if you find one on Mobofire that you'd rather use, by all means use that. But this is what I use, and it helps me, and it works. So there's that. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I know this video is a little sloppy, but this is my first time really doing this, and I really enjoyed it actually, so I would love to do more of these. So if you're new to my channel, like, favorite, subscribe, you know, do the whole social media thing, and then I want to do more of these. I feel like I did a decent job at my first one. I'll try to have a script next time, but give me suggestions down below of what guide I should do next, you know, what character and what role that character should play. And I don't do this most of the time, as you know. I do Let's Plays and stuff, so whenever you have the time, you can go check it out on my channel, some Let's Plays, you can laugh, have a good time, leave some suggestions on what games I should play, and that's really all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy playing Kayle, and I hope you have a beautiful day, spread some peace and love, and bye-bye.